So I was watching videos about Game of Thrones, and I had the idea of listing out at least 11 fantasy tropes and, epic fantasy tropes, and, just basically figuring out how you can subvert them very easily. So the list of tropes is 1. The princess gets damseled, rescue the princess. And this one, subverting this particular trope has itself become a trope, so you'll see how I change that. So number 2. The villain's army burns down the hero's village or family home, a deep personal reason to fight him. Yeah, obviously, Luke Skywalker. That guy from the Shimara Chronicles, that guy that from the 07 Weird Dragon movie. Disbelief in the prophecy. At first, a wise prophet goes to the king, but he doesn't believe him, so the prophet has to go gather the heroes himself. So this takes on a couple of different forms in the Shannara Chronicles. The king believed the prophet, but his son didn't believe it. And in Warcraft, obviously, hi, I am person who showed up right out of nowhere. The armies of the bad guys are coming, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so that's the thing. Number 4, a peasant boy learns of his special heritage, and it relates to his destiny, heritage tied with destiny. So the obvious, you have a mystical heritage. You have a mystical heritage. Superman, you come from a planet. You come from a planet of God, whatever. Okay, really hate the recent interpretations of Krypton. Really annoy me. Whatever. Number 5. An apparently dead magician figure or a mentor figure comes back to life in this stronger, more powerful form. This is because he died a noble death. This is not just Gandalf the White, this is also the Lion from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, coming back, leading an army against the Snow Queen from Narnia. Number 6. Magical beings are more easily corrupted by dark artifacts. Basically, the villain's power is used on a magical person to corrupt them, rather than using that power more effectively on mortals to, lead the king into attacking another king. I mean, it's kind of annoying. I mean, there's tons of magical wizards and whatever in all these fantasy realms, but why attack those people in particular when their colleagues are gonna keep watch about this stuff? I mean, it's also the Lord. Also, how Frodo went through 3 movies of bringing a ring. I don't know why people keep forgetting that scene Instead of a Dark Lord, you have a queen of the world and foundations of the universe. Like, how do people forget that the ring corrupts magical things, magical people? I mean, it's so annoying when people bring that up because they're trying to be clever, but you're not clever. I mean, what the hell are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, number 7. All the many races are reluctant to join up because of personal old grudges against each other. So you have a tough time bringing together all the armies in the world, in this magical world, for some reason. Like Game of Thrones, 7 fucking seasons, and finally they get back together, and they get together at least in 2 groups, and it's like, 3 groups, and it's like, oh, we are so mad that our king is with this really cute, awesome princess who frees slaves and stuff. I mean, it's not a terrible trope. I mean, that's where you get conflict to watch stuff, but I mean, just once I want to see an entire realm full of races joined together in an instant. I mean, it'd be so much. Whatever, I'll tell you in a bit. Number 8. The snake-like, dark-looking person, the person who's coded like a snake and is wearing dark and whatever, yeah, he's secretly the bad guy. And Harry Potter actually subverted this trope because, remember, and I thought that Snape was Harry's dad at the end, but he wasn't. He was just in love with his mom. But seriously, I mean, why would you call everyone who you think is going to turn out evil in snake attire? I mean, that makes no sense whatsoever. Number 9. The Dark Army is massing. It's not only the Dark Army is here and about to attack, it's either the evil human army who's taking over, or the supernatural army that takes 3 books to build up enough arsenal or men to attack you. Or sometimes it's like a supernatural army is right outside of your reality, and they need a strong, powerful portal to your world. For some reason, they're not capable of using their magical power to summon up a portal themselves. I mean, that's the biggest flaw of, the Warcraft movie. But basically, several seasons or several books, the Dark Army is massing. The Dark Army is massing. The Dark Army is massing. Creatures are being pulled out of the ground and stuff. Dead are building up, whatever. Number 10. Summoning onto a reluctant warrior who doesn't like who either doesn't like fighting or is not currently a part of society, or is at a very low point who's somehow weaker in terms of the established order. So you have your guy who's a werebear in a hut. You have your guy who's in a village, but his family are trying to not get overly involved in village and politics because he wants to keep his family safe, but he has a moral high ground idea of what's right and whatever. And it's like, why hasn't this guy taken over the kingdom yet? Like, this guy would be the perfect ruler, or this guy would be a great warrior or something. 11. Some sort of magic barrier is weakening, and we need to find a way to re-empower it, or find a special weapon to vanquish the Dark One, or the Dark Forces. Like, I mean, seriously, how many times have you seen something like this? Oh, here's this great big tree. I shall become one with it, and the tree leaves will be re-empowered, and the demons will be kept away. And this world, it could be science and magic at the same time, but it doesn't make any sense because there's so magic and blah blah blah. I mean, seriously. Okay, so these were the 11 tropes, and I'm gonna subvert them now. So, damseled, number 1. Let's say the princess is kidnapped, right? You go to save her. Now, the first thing that happens is the princess is already dead when you get there. Like, I know that people would want the princess to be alive, but seriously, subverting this trope of a princess being damseled is a thing that has already happened. I mean, countless times. Either the princess is there and you save her, or the princess is somehow tough and is about to rescue herself, or this princess has already rescued herself. And it's just, why not just kill her? I'm just saying, why not just kill the princess? So, number 2, the hero is reluctant to join, so the mentoring figure sends men to attack his home to falsify an attack as an inciting incident. Like, we all get the whole armies are attacking your village. You have a personal reason to save them because the villain's dark army attacked the village. But how bizarre and interesting would it be if this whole time Obi-Wan was secretly, intentionally guiding things to happen? What if Obi-Wan intentionally sent bad people to attack Luke's family to motivate him? Now, I know Obi-Wan would never do that, but a new mentoring figure and a totally new story would be awesome for that. So let's go to number 3. So the trope was everyone believes the prophecy when they are told. So the third one is there's disbelief in the prophecy. And the third one, subversion, is what if everyone believes the prophecy when they're told it, rather than the prophet needing to gather heroes one by one, he simply lounges along with the nobles as the royal servants go and gather the heroes for the profit, and he like does scholarly work or whatever. So number 4, a peasant boy learns of his special heritage. Now the way to subvert this is a boy learns of his heritage as some sort of special lineage which should allow him to do this great deed or something. But he's actually useless. Either he's useless the whole time, or when the event happens, when he really needs to claim, say, a special sword, and he grabs onto it, the special sword actually burns him. This actually would work with mythological route, because there's a guy in Scotland, I think. There's a special Scottish blade called, which its name translates to white hilt, not to be confused with King Arthur's white hilt, which is a dagger, which makes you invisible. But there's this special sword where if you grab it and you're not either worthy or well born enough, it's gonna burn you alive. And the person holding that sword legendarily dared people to take his sword and whatever, and they refused and they refused and they refused. And what if what if the wizard thinks that this kid, by virtue of his heritage, is right for the sword, and this kid grabs on the sword, hold of the sword, but the sword in the stone or the sword in the tree or whatever just sets him on fire. Like, imagine that shock. Oh, this is the special sword. Now you need to use it to stop the bad guy. Okay, I'm gonna grab it and oh no! Fire! 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 Right? Okay, so number 5 of the tropes. Apparently that magician comes back to life as this greater noble, into his greater noble form, and he's so much powerful because of his noble sacrifice. What if, after a truly noble spiritual figure, like a noble king's guardsman with special paladin powers, rather than the guy I suggested, who was the mentor figure, who's secretly tricky and conniving? What if an actually noble person died inside enemy territory, and when he returns, he's not he's not nobly super powerful. He's actually become the exact villainous form of himself. And it's like, oh no, you have fallen. And I know that this trope version has been done before, but King Arthas of Warcraft, or Prince Arthas of Warcraft, actually gradually turned evil before he became the Lynch King. And this is like a sudden event. Oh, this is a great figure and great and good and stuff. Oh no, he's secretly evil. Yeah. Oh no, he's evil. Look at him. He's raping villagers and he's killing people and whatever. So, number 6. Magical beings are more easily corrupted. And like I said before, the heroes are misled into believing that the magician is secretly controlled by servants of the king. So the servants of the king mislead the band of brothers, the friends who are supposed to fix everything, into thinking that this magical figure is secretly controlled by the bad guy. Meanwhile, various nobles from various countries, various races, basically start a war, basically attack each other at random. And it becomes this great, massive conflict. Number 7, all the many races are reluctant to join up. So, number 7, all the races come together with ease, ready to do great battle, and everyone's really nice to each other. And then what happens is everyone gets into a fight out of paranoia. Basically, 6 and 7 are the same thing, or connected to the same thing. Number 8. So the snake-like, dark-looking advisor of the Lord is secretly evil. Trope. But he's so obviously snake-like, therefore, obviously he's evil. No. Number 8 is the person coded in snake, the person with the snake-like appearance. Yeah, after the useless hero guy who we start off with grabs onto a sword and gets set on fire, dies or whatever, this person who's coated in snake-like attire comes to the rescue. He sees a sword somewhere, he picks it up, and he's like secretly the great guy. Not because of any special heritage, but because he is worthy of the sword. So, your snake guy is secretly your hero, is basically what I'm saying. So, trope number 9. The Dark Army is massing. Yeah, oh, by the way, those Dark Army villains who are about to attack, yeah, they've actually been here the whole time, under houses, across the entire country. Under the houses, and under crops, and caves, we snuck them in. They just show up and they attack everyone. Because they're lying dormant and they don't really need all that much food, at least for a year or so. They're just here and they're attacking. Yeah, that's the trope subversion. All the bad guys, they're already here with an army, dragons, whatever, evil minions. They're just here. They're the bad guys. And they're here. They've been hiding in plain sight. Number 10. Stumbling onto a reluctant warrior with some sort of special relationship with society. Yeah, so the trope subversion that I've written down here is a reluctant, powerful person with a title. Yet the heroes meet such a person on their journey, except he's expected to show up at this final battle, because they really believe he can do something, but as the final battle is coming up, in reality the guy's just flat out drunk. So this guy you met who seems really nice and whatever, yeah, he just gets drunk and he just doesn't make it. I'm sorry, he just gets drunk. Yeah, and finally, trope number 11. Some sort of magical barrier. So, the magical trap, which was containing the dark evil guy, is actually just a diversion, and the guy is sent out to get an amulet to re-empower the prison. Yeah, so the Dark Lord has already risen. The whole time he's already risen, and the hero band sent out to get the necklace. Among them is actually the niece of the princess. It is actually the first cousin of the princess, and she is secretly fucking the Dark Lord. Literally, trope number 1, subversion, where the princess is secretly dead, feeds into trope number 11's subversion, where the princess's first cousin, who's part of this quest of people who are out to pick up a special item to lock away the bad guy. Yeah, she's secretly fucking the bad guy, and by that time the bad guy wins over the human races and whatever, and he plunders everything and he moves on. Yeah, by the time she returns, he's in disguise and she becomes his puppet government leader, and she and he are fucking. And there's no real reason why the Dark Lord would want the land to not prosper. So after he moves on from these lands, he moves on to other lands, and her land gradually rebuilds and has a special weapon that's supposedly meant to entrap the evil Dark One, and she keeps it safe, and an alliance of people against the Dark Lord come together for this weapon, for this amulet that's supposed to trap him, and this magical amulet is secretly worthless. In fact, it does pretty much nothing at all. It just casts an illusion, and if they ever do use it against the Dark Lord, yeah, the Dark Lord doesn't get vanquished. So the Dark Lord and his mistress secretly control everything after they've already won, and this alliance of heroes, of hero races from across the realm that have gathered to fight him, yeah, they're just puppets. They just become his puppets. This whole time, it was a mass conspiracy. He got what he wanted. He decided to retreat to his territory, his new territory, lock up his borders, and the heroes are prospering and building up a defensive structure against him, and as long as he's there, they have a reason to be aligned, and as long as they are aligned, the Dark Lord is secretly controlling them and fucking their queen. Ta-da. That's how you subvert 11 tropes. You can do that in like one fucking episode of Game of Thrones time, and you don't even need to change anything about Game of Thrones. It's so easy. Just do that, and that's it. Done. Just introduce some castle nobody has seen yet, and run that entire story through your episode, writer, staff, whatever, and just do that. That's one episode, and I already subverted 11 tropes. And it's a great pilot. I'm just saying, do that. Not whatever the fuck season 7 was. I mean, I'm off. Bye.